Alright guys, welcome to another edition of the Anything Wrestling Podcast. We're back once again with another episode. We got the whole crew back together. It is the Shawns, Dan the Man, and the Commish.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Commish, and I will be the advocate for this episode.
And let it just be stated that this episode is brought to you by the WWE Network, where you can catch all your favorite programming for a non-negotiable but reasonable price of only $9.99.
And Famous Amos Cookies. When you need some cookies, go Famous. That's not actually their catchphrase, but
I figured we could really get sued at that.
But anyway, we are back here.
We have cookies. That's why. Go ahead.
We are back here today with another episode. Today we got a very unique episode, not exactly discussing the action that goes on inside the ring, but one of the main theatrics that goes on right before the wrestlers get to the ring, which is coming out to WWE Entrance theme musics, which, Dan the Man, if you want to take the lead from here and tell us what direction exactly we're going in.
All right. So basically the idea here is theme songs or entrance themes have been a thing for years, for wrestling, for boxing, for UFC. Sorry, for mixed martial arts.
Might as well. I mean, UFC has become its own hybrid thing of like wrestling and mixed martial arts.
But so what we're here today to discuss is our best, our worst, what we feel theme songs bring to the table, how they make us feel. You have, over the years, you've had notable ones: $1 Million Man opening with his laugh, The Shattered Glass, If You Smell What the Rock Is Cooking. All of these are prominent themes that are intended to get you hyped going into a match. So what we're going to discuss is which themes we think worked, which we think didn't, and which ones mean something to us personally. So, the Shant. Take it away, buddy.
Before we get started, I want to ask you guys a question. To you, what does the entrance theme mean? Is it just music to you guys? Does it symbolize a superstar? Does it get you hyped for the match? Because a lot of people can say, oh, it's just music. It's music for the wrestler to come out to, just to kind of get that moment going. I personally feel like it's way more than that. What do you guys think?
Well, I would think of it as like it's become something more than just, oh, this is just the guy's music that he's coming out to. It depends also like on who is coming out and what match, because you can have like the beginning of an event nowadays and Seth Rollins comes out. When his music hits, you're already getting hyped because that's what the show wants from you in the very beginning. You know
who's coming out.
Exactly. And then before, like in the earlier years, it's like, all right, you have your low card events, their music hits, maybe they're your favorite, maybe they're not, but still that music it has become a thing of like bringing a presence into an event, bringing like the hype of what's going to happen. And granted, some wrestlers, before they even got a theme, they would just get crappy quality synthesizer played music.
Generic.
That you're just like,
they get the local talent treatment.
Exactly. and it would just be so bad. But now it's become more than a necessity, but an obvious necessity that is needed.
In my opinion, your theme song is your brand. And I think that's why a lot of times, if you because the whole point is your music hits and people think of you.
Yes.
It sets up.
I'm gonna counter that a little later, but go ahead.
Well, so it sets up your return. It sets up the hype for your entrance for a match, for a save, and I think that to an extent, music can make or break the success of a character.
Yeah,
I think so.
Because even if you have the most charismatic a person and you slap a terrible theme song on them, I just don't. It's an uphill battle for them to try and get over. One example I'll throw out real quick: Zack Ryder for me.
Woo woo woo.
You know it.
I hate his theme song. It's not on my list, but for him, I hate his theme song, and he had that push going where he was doing the John Cena, the Kane thing going on, and
Not
he was
helping, Dan.
U.S. champion, and he had a good thing going, and now where the fuck is he?
He's right, technically, because honestly, sometimes when you hear his music hit, you wouldn't get as captivated.
Yeah.
Granted that he's obviously a really big presence on his own, but still, like it's
And
like
he kind of got himself over online, but that just didn't carry over for the long term.
exactly.
Well, I think for a minute it did, but now it's like when you hear him come out, you're like, oh, Zach. Like, you know there's going to be more damage done, that he's going to either job or whatnot.
Well, he also didn't evolve, so I mean that's that's on him. He didn't evolve his character afterwards to try and become anything better. He's still woo woo woo.
You know it. All right, well, with that answer, let's get to it. So, I was thinking we do a round of favorites, a round of worst, a round of favorites, a round of worst, just to kind of keep it, roller coaster like.
Sure.
Let's start off with our favorites. Your number one favorite. I don't want to hear, oh, I have this one and I have this one. I want to hear one.
Like all time.
All time. Your favorite theme, your go-to of all time. Who wants to start?
I think you should start.
Okay. Very, very obvious. Stone Cold Steve Austin's "I Won't Do What You Tell Me." That theme, it kind of goes with everything. Think about this. If someone said, that's the theme that you're going to hear during a bunch of people drinking beer. It's like, what? But it fits. It fits a title celebration. It fits even, he could lose a match and take that long walk, back to the backstage. If that theme's playing, it encapsulates that. It fits in every single case scenario that you can possibly think of. I've literally had days where I can't get my mind off of something. I'll hear that and my energy just starts going. My adrenaline just starts going. And I just forget my troubles, as weird as it sounds. That would have to be my number one favorite of all time. Definitely. So, who's next?
We can just go in the circle, I guess. So for me, I kind of made a concerted effort to go outside of the obvious ones. Because, I could have very easily put The Rock's theme on here, because he was my favorite wrestler of the entire Attitude Era. Probably even still to this day, to an extent. But I left off Steve Austin, I left off Triple H, I left off The Rock for just kind of unearthing some other ones.
So you left off, the obvious big
Yeah.
ones. Okay.
Now, they're obviously out there. I suspect you guys might have a couple of them on your list, which is why I wasn't concerned. But, so I'm going to go, we kind of talked about this before, Dolph Ziggler's theme song.
Go ahead and tell the story, Dan.
So Dolph Ziggler, he had I Am Perfection back in the day, also by Downstage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it was okay. But once he got Here to Show the World, first of all, it's just got that strong impact at the beginning, which I think any good theme song should. It should have that first hit that gets you, oh, it's him, and then it carries through. Now, I liked Dolph. I thought he was talented, but what really set this theme off for me was when he cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Alberto Del Rio. Because you've got Del Rio, he's down on the ground, refs are checking on him, camera zoomed in real close on Alberto, and you hear the theme hit. And I lost it, and so did everybody in that arena. And talking about it, I have goosebumps. You guys can verify.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the man tells the truth.
I get so hyped by this theme song now, and I have it on my phone as a ringtone even. That's how much I like this one.
I got it in my car.
So Dolph is probably my number one hidden gem.
And this is of all time?
Yes.
Okay. Kamish.
So, granted that this man always comes with controversy no matter what era he was in.
I just kicked Stan!
He knew it right off the bat.
I was thinking of someone else.
No, he hit it right, the nail on the dot. Regardless, also, if it was Sensational Sherry singing it, or if it was Shawn himself singing it, I think of all time, his theme song, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, whenever it hit, it just got me revved up, oh my god, something's gonna happen, he's gonna do something, and it never was something where you're just bored or you're just no, he's just gonna do a quick promo and that's it. No, he something always came with his actions, whether it's super kicking someone in the face for controversy to prove you're controversial, or if it was to run in and cause like mayhem, or you know that he's there to steal the show, regardless of who's facing off against who. Whether if he's there to like do commentary, whether he was a special guest referee,
Or lost his smile.
that too. But you knew like when his music hit, like something was gonna happen. 'Cause
Yeah.
he always brought energy with him. He always like, even in his final days, like when he would give his praises to God, you know, he always brought it. And you would know like, all right, Shawn Michaels is up next. You're gonna get a good match, or you're gonna get like this really crazy promo. Like you don't know where he's going with it, and that's what I loved about Shawn is like his music hit. Like you always wondered what was next, and I love that because it's like it could be he would go down to face the Undertaker, or he would go down to face Austin, or Randy Orton, or McMahon, or who. It didn't matter who it was. He always stood up to whoever he wanted to, and when his music hit, like all right, he's out for business. Like he's ready. And I love that because it always hyped me up. It always made me enjoy whether it was Raw or SmackDown or whatever pay-per-view event was on even more. That's my number one. Hands down.
Just out of curiosity, were you a fan of the Sexy Kurt segment?
I will not lie. I laughed my ass off so much and I gave respect to Kurt Angle for it. Even though I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what is this? But it was great. I love that. I thought it was great.
So from the good, we go to the bad. So a round of worst theme music.
Can this be the number one most hated of all? Because I'm ready
Sure.
for mine.
I'm kind of like dribbling all three slots kind of back and forth. But the first one is Ronda Rousey.
Oh,
I hate that theme.
Son of a bitch.
Get that
That's
theme.
fair.
Get your raccoon and animal gimmick out of the WWE.
He took mine.
Get everything out. I hate that theme song.
Can you
why are you stealing his catchphrases?
not even steal my catchphrase? My number one
Insults?
hated.
And why are you stealing his theme songs?
I have to agree. I can agree. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Joan Jett. That song made me associate it always to 10 Things I Hate About You, the movie. Because of Julia Stiles' character. Now that I hear it almost every single time with Ronda Rousey, I hate it more and more and more because like we've said so much on this podcast, she is non-deserving. Her push is way too early. It's too much.
You want a souvenir?
I mean, why have enemies when you can have friends like that? I'm just saying.
Arms, get your arms here. Fresh, warm arms.
You can catch these horrendous catchphrases during the Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey match from Hell in a Cell only on the WWE Network, which you can get for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
$9,000?
It's not $10.
Not $1,000.
Not $1 million.
$9.99.
But why do you hate it? What, like, other than just because we know how you feel about her, but what is it about the music though? Like, is
Or
it
is it
because
just
it's
what it stands for?
No, it's just there comes to okay. When that theme starts playing, a minute later, the main vocalist, what's her name?
Joan Jett?
Joan Jett, starts giving like more power and more energy, and it sounds even more horrendous. And you're like, okay, I thought the first time around when the encore was going on, it was bad. But no, the second time when she's giving more energy, it's like, okay, first of all, what the fuck are you saying?
Like, is it when she gets higher?
Yes.
She's just repeating the whole "I don't give a damn about my
Yeah,
bad
but
reputation."
it sounds worse.
Now, for me, in terms of this one, I was never too high on the song on its own before.
I didn't even know it.
It just.
Oh wow!
But now I regret doing so.
I just didn't care for it. It didn't inspire me. But no, I get what you guys are saying. I didn't think about this one because I was thinking about like original themes for the most part. Other than things that were brought in.
Unfortunately, it now counts as an original theme.
Yeah.
Because you rarely hear that on radio.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That's 'cause fucking, what, 30 years old?
Yeah. I think what it is, don't get me wrong.
This song was probably out before she was fucking born.
I think so. But this network is in favor for women's empowerment and, for women, being
Deserving.
Just not you, Rhonda.
Anyone but you, Rhonda.
Just not you, Mouse Rat.
Where's Bray Wyatt when you need him?
But okay.
Okay,
so you got yours.
Don't get me talking anymore. Go ahead.
What's your number one just worst theme?
I'm gonna go first overall. So I approached this differently. I went with themes I thought were ineffective versus themes that frustrated me.
Okay.
So my first overall is I believe it's called A Man's Man.
I love that theme.
And that's fine. You can like the theme. The theme's kind of fun. I think it's an ineffective theme for a wrestler.
For William Regal.
Yeah.
Or Steven Regal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you would get over with this theme song ever. So,
Is it because he's a man?
such a man.
He's
a
real
man's
man.
I'm assuming we can probably link to some of these theme songs in the description of the video, but
Yes.
we'll figure that out.
Out of curiosity, would you give this theme to someone else, and if so, who would you give it
Oh
to?
Jesus, no!
Give it to Roman?
No.
That would be funny.
God.
Oh man. I kind of want to edit that now. I want to just take that theme and put it over his Shield theme.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, so that's probably my number one overall for ineffective or worst themes, because I just don't think you could give that to anybody and have it actually be a successful character.
I'm trying to challenge that now.
I know you said you wanted to keep it one and one, but while you're trying to think of a challenge, I'll toss this out real quick with it.
So I have the information.
Okay.
Ronda Jean Rousey, born February 1st, 1987.
87, so...
Bad Reputation by Joan Jett. Released in 1981.
81. That is a
That is-
6-year deficit, my friends. That song was out for 6 years before Mr. and Mrs. Rousey got it on.
6 years of bad luck.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't have much to say about it other than the fact that it just didn't work for me.
Okay.
And I mean, he got over, but Macho Man with Pomp and Circumstance,
That was his.
the graduation song.
I thought it kind of at first. Okay, before I started binge watching all the Manias, I really wasn't too familiar with the theme. But then as I heard it, I'm like, okay, I can.
I think it worked for his flamboyancy, like how like over the top the
Yeah.
Macho Man character really was. I think it worked for him. Cream of the crop, cream rises to the top.
I can see the lost Hogan in your eyes.
So here's my thing with that song, because it's actually in my top 5 of worst WWE themes. I think what it is about it, and this includes Jerry Lawler's theme song, like that Royal Entrance.
Really?
These are songs that don't really captivate me to be excited. They make me think of graduations of the fucking Queen of England or of royalty. It doesn't make me think WWE wrestlers. That's why I don't classify them in my top 5, top 10, top 20. They're in my worst.
Yeah, I think
5.
Lawler's is fine because of the fact that he's an announcer. Well, I think when he's announcing, I think it's fine as that Jerry Lawler. Na, na, na.
I
Then he
guess.
comes down to the thing.
But when it comes to wrestle, it's just
Yeah.
I'm not excited. I know you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Give
real
him
quick.
the man's man theme.
So my number one, just worst theme, was Diamond Dallas Page.
Really?
Self high five. There's a reason why. It always reminded me of Nirvana. Some of the guitar riffs are tweaked, Smells Like Teen Spirit. And at one point in my life, I hated Smells Like Teen Spirit because it was so overplayed. it got Nirvana to a point where they didn't even want to be as musicians.
Yeah.
To hear it almost in Diamond Dallas's like theme entrance, it would just kill me so bad because it's like I get it. I get who you're trying to be in WCW. Well, what's worse is his like little bits cut into the song with the whole self high five. Like, oh God, no! But you're so good at kicking the NWO's ass. Jesus.
The funny part is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with his WWE dubbed theme of Diamonds.
I think I'd have to, like, I'm still
I love it.
getting there to the invasion. It was okay. It wasn't bad.
Because a lot of people say, like, oh, WWE needs to, like, dub, themes just to make it their own. But sometimes they're on point. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, once again, we go back to our second round of best. Mine, it's kind of going to be obvious, would have to be The Undertaker's Rest in Peace song. Personally, because Undertaker, a favorite of mine, and I feel like a lot of people always talk about, if you're talking about The Undertaker, you're talking about the slow walk to the ring, the smoky environment, the gong hitting and kind of getting those chills. And I also feel like that theme song, if anything, is more symbolic, because if he wins, it's like, okay, he put you down, rest in peace, and the theme song is very appropriate. Even if he loses, it's like that slow walk to the ring where it's like the dead man is down for now, but,
It's somebody's funeral is basically what you're saying.
Exactly. So,
And plus, to add to that, like, there's so much evolution of that song throughout his entire career before the one part of his career where he was the American Badass. Like, that song evolved. Like, it would get more ominous.
you hear that, Roman? Even the song evolved. Go ahead.
Like the song became more ominous. It became darker. Like, it would send chills down your spine. But the way it is now, like, it's perfect. Like, you hear the gongs, like, or not even they're technically bells first.
Yeah.
That are not as powerful. But once the whole song hits, it's a loud and thunderous gong that it's like, okay, he's coming out. You have no idea what's going to happen next with him. And
Yeah.
I think I can respect that as, like, one of your favorites, because it's also one of mine. I love it, and I think that's a great choice.
Thank you.
And even in my extensive research, at some point when he was the American Badass, it transitioned to where it had it had the gong at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then
Dead
it gave
man
you.
walking.
I think that one was good too.
That one was good. That almost made it on my list before I put the kibosh to using like the big stars for my list.
Right.
That's my second best for number 2. Dan?
Well, you guys may be familiar with this one after one of our previous episodes. Was it the one immediately before this one when we talked about the girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch. I love that. I don't know if I want to call it ska, because I know that Sami Zayn's entire theme song is ska music. But the woeing, I guess, is the simplest way to put it. And then you've got the like shredding guitars. It's a solid theme song, especially for a woman, because a lot of times you get like the Tori Wilson style music or
Trish Stratus.
Brie Bella. With Brie mode, or however the hell it goes at the beginning.
Or just the Bella's theme song.
Yeah. Just, a lot of them get these, like, bubblegum pop bullshit theme songs.
Or
and then you've got...
kind of like sexualized.
Yeah,
themes.
where you're kind of uncomfortable listening to it. And then you've got people like Becky. You have...
Distinguishable.
Yeah, you had Lita, who had a solid theme song.
Yes.
Chyna. Trish Stratus, to an extent. I hate the giggle. But the theme song itself, not bad. It's not quite on par with, like I said, the other ones. But so Becky is number 2 for me.
And I like how I can add on to these with you guys. Like, I think with hers, it hits. And you're actually excited to see her come out, even now.
Especially now.
Because it's like, now you have the SmackDown Women's Champ. It's going to go in a better road for her on her second run. Like, you hear her music come out, you're like, oh shit, she's ready to kick some ass.
Yeah.
She's not gonna. She doesn't have to cut a promo now. She's getting almost to that. I don't want to say it to your favorite wrestler's level. She's kind of slowly growing to that Austin level where her music can hit, and you're already excited.
Yeah. I personally like about the 40-second mark where it goes, hey, hey, hey. I just feel like fist bumping every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
So I'm gonna hit you guys with an old school one.
Here we go.
That I like, and you mentioned it earlier in the episode.
Uh-oh.
It actually is the $1 Million Man's theme song.
Money, money.
Yeah, it's so simple, and you hear him, and I love it because when he's a heel, like that whole thing, like you know, everyone's got a price, and you will be bought, and then you just hear that ominous laugh that he always does.
I love Ted DiBiase.
It's
Loved
great.
it. Loved it.
That song is so simple, but yet just literally on the money.
Yeah. Huh?
It always just had me like, all right, he is awesome. Like, I love this song.
Personally, Ted DiBiase, okay, not to take anything away, but like, when they talk about the complete package, he had the entrance theme. If he won the match, he would take that, the money and just shove it in your mouth. Like, his whole gimmick was established. He had something for everything, very distinguishable.
My thing is, I always wondered whenever he stuffs his opponent's mouth with money, it's like, do they take the money? Do they keep it for themselves, or do they give it back to DiBiase?
With all the saliva on it.
They just keep it as a souvenir of the match, like Alexa Bliss's arm. Which consequently, that's the news that I read, is that she may have been removed from Mixed Match Challenge because of some arm numbness. So hopefully she's okay.
Thoughts and prayers go out to Alexa Bliss because they
Alexa
got pulled from MMC.
they're my pick. They were my pick for Mixed Match Challenge Season 2.
Well, now they're gonna pair Braun with Ronda Rousey.
No.
That's not true, or at least I hope not.
So, Sean, your second worst theme.
Bobby Lashley's theme right now. Here's the thing, is that when Bobby Lashley came back, the first 5 seconds of that theme hooked me. I like it. But then it would just become this obscure thing where it would pause, then it would come up again. And then I think like a month later, there was like a remix. I'm going to admit, the first 2 times when he came out, I'm like, who is this? Because like, I think it was Elias. You saw him looking at this at the time, and I'm like, wait, who is this? Is this someone new? Oh, it's Lashley.
You have Elias staring up at the Titantron confused, and you're also staring up at the Titantron confused because you're like, am I supposed to know what's going on right now?
It's like the theme does not fit him at all. Like it's one of those things where it's like you're waiting for it to come to that point where like it gets you going, but it pauses, then it picks up again, then it pauses, then it picks up again. I'm like, I don't dig this at all. It
doesn't get you hyped, but it kind of makes you question like,
what are you still doing here?
Yeah.
Why are you back?
Yeah. I wouldn't even give that theme, like the Man's Man, I even asked you, I'm like, would you give it to somebody? This theme, I wouldn't even give it to anybody else. I'm like, this is not going to...
Yeah, some of them are just pure trash themes.
Yeah. So, Dan, go ahead.
I'm conflicted because I know where I'm trying to go for number 3, so I gotta pick between these other ones. I'm gonna go... Okay, so I watched 20 Years of Hell already with Mick Foley.
So did I.
Jeez, if only I could remember where you could find that video.
Which one?
You can find 20 Years of Hell in HD only on the WWE Network, which you can get for a non-negotiable but reasonable price of only $9.99.
Oh, that's right. It was on the WWE Network.
For $9.99.
For $9.99.
Not $10.
Not $1,000.
Not $1 million.
$9.99.
So anyway, check out 20 Years of Hell, and you'll hear...
Check out Sable.
We have the network playing in the background, guys. This is how we are.
You mean Mrs. Lesnar.
Never mind.
There's an F5 coming.
And so, anyway, you listen to Mick Foley talk about his career and the build-up to the infamous Hell in a Cell match. And he talks about how Vince apparently brought him in and was intentionally trying to kind of sabotage him. Mm-hmm. And so I've got Mankind's music as number 2.
The first version of it?
Yeah, that real
Okay.
dreary ass one.
Yeah.
I liked the car crash one.
No,
Or
the
the Mick Foley
wreck.
wreck.
But here's the thing: there was one in between that deranged
Yeah.
music that sounded better.
Yeah.
But the original,
Was it the funeral march?
no, like it still had the same tone as his original, but you just added like synthesizers and guitars to it, and it made it sound like it was worth coming out to.
No,
But
I'm
his
gonna go
original,
with the bland ass one.
It was so bad.
Because it didn't get you hyped to see this character. It was quiet and slow, and you're like, okay, I guess it's time for this.
And he also had a different exit theme at that time.
But that's what I wanted to add to as what my worst next one is his exit music. Because I get it, he's deranged, his character had to beat the shit out of you and almost kill you. And this is where it went bad for me. When it's the Boiler Room Brawl in 96, you don't hear the theme music because they just go into the boiler. Well, the Undertaker goes in, Mankind's already in there. But then when you see the Paul Bearer turn on Undertaker, Mankind wins, he gets the urn, and you hear that like soft piano play. I'm
Soothing.
like, oh god, this is just so horrible. And the song itself, I'm just like, yeah, I can't do this. This is just bad. That has to be like my next worst one, because it's just like, why would you exit with this?
It's those two theme songs that just never connected. You know, I think that
But I think that was the point.
Yeah, going back to what Vince was originally planning for.
Just deranged and broken and weird. Yeah.
Okay, we're down to third favorite theme.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one again always gets me going. I've always said that if I had like my own little, here we go, click. This would be our theme. Maybe a remix of it is the NWO theme, Rock House. Love it. Just once again, like you can like I know Kevin Nash has had that theme. X-Pac, Scott Hall, the whole nine yards. Even as a team or separately, they've had it. This theme just gets me going. I just love it. It's really good. Simple.
Would you still include when the other versions of it, when like depending who came out from the NWO, added their vocals in the song? Like think of Macho Man, when he would walk out to the NWO song and you just hear the "ooh yeah" in the song.
I guess I can be flexible with that if we can. Okay.
Because there were some wrestlers in the NWO that added their little touch to it.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, for Macho Man it works. For Scott Norton, not really. For Disco Inferno, you never got in the NWO in my eyes.
Disco Fever. If we can step out of WWE for 1 second, I don't know if you guys have heard when Hogan came back, the TNA remix of this song. Just YouTube it and good stuff. Love it. So that's my third. Go ahead, Dan.
So for me, spoiler alert. This is queuing up my third worst. Also,
Here we go.
because, like I said, I'm sticking to ones that are a little more obscure than your staples.
Okay.
So on this one, Jesus, what the hell's their name? Story of the Year version of Just Close Your Eyes, Christian's theme song.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I love that version of that theme song. Because you have the lead singer of Story of the Year, he does the go, and then it goes right into the theme. That one was always fun, and I'm upset that Christian got this version of the theme song so late in his career. Because if he had gotten this before the previous version or before the operatic one,
Yeah.
I think he would have had a better shot of maybe actually reaching the main event.
Yeah.
A la Jeff Hardy. Like that, I think that's as over as he could have gotten, because he had the nostalgia factor. He's not the most charismatic guy, but he was sort of that
He had that
cool
ability where he could have
underdog
been, yeah.
character that I think people would have really grasped onto, if he just hadn't had these nerdy ass things going on before that. But anyway, we'll come back around to that.
So
that actually gives me a good segue for this too.
So my third favorite, it sucks because it's in a tie. It's two of them.
Fine, go ahead. What the hell?
So
I mean, I already broke that rule. I'm sorry.
and these two relate to each other recently it's because of the PG era. It's tied between CM Punk's first intro, "This Fire Burns" by Killswitch Engage,
Yes.
and then Vince McMahon's "No Chance in Hell." Like honestly,
The irony of you grouping those two guys together.
it works. It worked with them. My thing, honestly, with those two themes, it's just like with CM Punk's, it gets you going. Yeah, it is. It gets you like hype, like okay, like especially when he had his first cash in of Money in the Bank after Batista just destroyed Edge. And Edge is just laying there like, oh my god, what the hell just happened to me? And then you hear CM Punk and you're like, let's go. He still doesn't know what's going on because Batista just fucked him up so bad. And you just see Punk like, cash it in, let's go. And as his music is playing, he does it, he wins, and it just plays right back in. It's like, holy shit, he just won. And then, of course, you have Jerry Lawler announcing it like, oh, if I could steal one from Jim Ross, Punk wins. And I was just like, this is all awesome. And then, of course, with McMahon's theme, it never mattered. Back in the Attitude Era when no one liked him, now when he comes in and just the whole crowd is just singing it, just worshiping him, it was always an amazing song to me. Always.
So I just want to jump in real quick, going back to what the CM Punk one.
Yeah.
So you and I have both listed a moment from a cash-in where this theme song really played a big part in getting you psyched for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of lending itself to what I said, where it's sort of your identity. And it lets you create these iconic moments, these big saves, these big moments where you hear here to show the world, or what say the title again?
This Fire Burns.
This Fire Burns. And you go, oh shit, he's about to cash in the briefcase, and that's an iconic moment in your memory forever.
Absolutely.
So that's part of why I said I think that having a solid theme song with that big impact is crucial to the long-term success of a person.
Let me just add to that. Speaking of Money in the Bank and This Fire Burns, Money in the Bank 2011, when Punk had just cut that pipe bomb, and he comes to Money in the Bank with that theme, and the first second when that song hits that monstrous pop, it's like you get, before Cult of Personality, you get that last bit of This Fire Burns with the main event momentum, with the crowd popping. So, I love getting a taste of that right before he went to Cult of Personality. We're down to our least favorite.
Yeah.
Yep.
This one, it's not that like, oh my god, I hate it, it's horrendous. It never really kind of clicked with me. I guess because the wrestler himself didn't really click with me. Bobby Roode's Glorious. I just felt like there's these 8 seconds where he's coming up, but you gotta wait for those piano keys to settle down, and then it's glorious.
Just seeing, and even I'm not spoiling anything for you because Bobby Roode came out last night on Raw, and just seeing in that Raw highlights, like it makes me think of all his times he's come out with that song, and I'm just like, no, I don't buy it. I can't.
I don't like the robe either.
He's sort of a weird character.
Yeah.
To be very
in
honest,
WWE.
At first I hated Bobby Roode. Then, roughly about 6 months back, he kind of grew on me, but then I lost him again. So
Well, it was
hard.
like a wart.
yeah,
It's kind of hard to really like keep him like as like someone you really want to root or not root for.
Yeah.
He's like a throwaway.
unfortunately.
He's got sort of a comedy character feel to him,
Yeah.
even though he's not really approached like one, and I think that's the problem. Because you think back to TNA when he was straight-laced, he was the TNA World Champion.
And NXT.
And NXT. Those are good Bobby Roode moments. Like he's not a bad wrestler, he's not a bad performer, but then you saddle him with this shit.
Work on your finishers, Bobby. Really.
Glorious.
So what's your third worst, Dan?
All right, so like I said, I was queuing it up. My third worst and I said that I could even segue into this one a little bit. I'm just going to burn through this real quick. So, Gangrel / The Brood.
Really?
That's up there.
Wait. I'm shocked at that. You hate that?
I think it's a bad theme song.
Wow. Okay, that's shocking.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think the tone of it is fine, but I think that the theme, being a theme song, is not good. And then connecting because of The Brood back to Christian when he broke away from Edge and they did At Last You're on Your Own. Nope, horrendous theme song. And then going to I forget who the female group was, but Just Close Your Eyes. If you pull up that one versus the Story of the Year version, it doesn't even hold a candle because it's real quiet and it's and then you gave it to Story of the Year and then it became explosive.
Yeah.
And so pretty much anything Christian had before his last theme song I
bad.
did not like.
Here's my thing with your pick of The Brood and Gangrel. I always thought Blade.
Yeah.
Marvel's Blade.
Yeah.
It's like they're vampires.
They should have brought in a Wesley Snipes type.
Then it would have been real comic book. Like, I don't think McMahon would have loved that idea at all.
Or Kevin Thorne.
Oh,
Mordecai.
Kevin Thorne, Mordecai, The Brood, one staple. Stable.
I just think like it was just the whole. It's like, yeah.
I'm surprised because that's the theme song that I can just bob my head to and just love it.
It's just
And that's what I'm saying is it's fine for shit like that, but for like introducing.
It's not captivating.
Yeah.
Really?
You find it captivating?
Yes.
I don't. I really don't.
Along with the rest of the WWE universe.
Leave your opinions on Gangrel's theme song specifically in the comments below. But moving on.
My third worst. I think the live performance version of "Break It Down" by DX. Hearing it live sounds so bad.
America the Beautiful?
Because
Yes.
you may see here at the bottom of my notes. Are you ready? I love the
original,
like
the
DX
one they come
theme.
out to when it's just regular. It's not by the band. It's perfect. It's great because you get that. Oh crap! DX is coming.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's just Shawn or Hunter. It doesn't matter if it's Hunter and the New Age Outlaws, X-Pac in China. It never mattered.
Yeah.
Those 3 words hit, and everyone just gets hyped. Like, all right, here we go. We're getting into it. Hearing it live, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It sounds so horrible. It just sounds like garbage.
Yeah, because the original's so solid for me that if that is available on a wrestling video game, that's my theme song.
Can we have like at least an honorable mention thing?
That's what I was gonna say. Before we get to honorable mentions, I got a little fun question I want to ask you guys. So
is it survey time?
if we can take a quick survey here,
Hey yo.
I want you guys to pick. So the day that you were born, the day that you get married, and the day you pass for your funeral.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
I want to hear 3 theme songs that you would put to those 3 occasions.
If I could, for the day I'm born, we just talked about it as being a bad one. Bobby Roode's "Glorious."
He's here.
The day I'm born would be glorious.
As you're coming out, the piano keys hit, and then what's real?
Yep.
Lion King type of thing.
Yep.
And then for your wedding,
Oh man, I've discussed this with my girlfriend, and
I'm
she
talking.
told me.
I'm talking banquet hall, like not church. I'm talking like.
Come on.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine. You know what? I would do it for banquet hall, and when I'm coming into the reception, and when I'm coming into the wedding. Stone Cold Steve Austin's. Just hearing the glass break.
Speaking of,
And I wouldn't walk in like, nice. And so I would walk in shaking my head just
The
like
BMF
Austin.
walk?
I would get like on the priest's like little chair there and be like, I would sell it so well. And then for my funeral,
I think this is obvious.
it's appropriate. It would be the Undertaker.
Which one? The Rest in
Rest in
Peace?
Peace.
Yeah.
Those would be my 3 for born, married, funeral.
Dan?
All right.
Oh, these I have to hear.
All right. So I'm gonna go with.
Wait,
with.
this is Born?
Yeah, this is
Okay,
Born.
okay.
So I'm gonna go with DX. I'm gonna keep that one because it just seems right. And like we said, if that's my creator wrestler on a video game, he gets that theme. Might as well stick with it. So are you ready? Go go. And then it happens.
Wait, as you're coming out of the womb, it's that slow build, and then once you're like completely out, break it down.
Yep. The doctor holds me up.
And even,
Umbilical cord?
And even as he's born, he's still throwing it out the suck it.
Like Hornswoggle.
All right, what
fucking
about
guy.
wedding?
Wedding, I'm gonna go with Mick Foley.
Wreck?
With Wreck.
Nice.
Because you hear the
Some people in the church are gonna be like, does he not want to get married?
You know what I'm imagining? When the banquet hall, the double doors open, and you see a car just like flipping.
and it comes to rest, and then I just kick the door open and get out. Hilarious.
Or not even that, like as the theme's playing, an actual car on the outside of the fucking reception is rolling like, is this Dave Simon? That's just really happy. What's going on?
Jim Johnson, what are you doing?
I'm so confused. And then we'll bring this full circle. I'll take the heat on this one. I will take William Regal's theme song on my way out.
He's a man.
Let that be my legacy.
Just a man.
Well, hey, he is
The
Dan.
man.
Dan the man.
I like it. All right, Sean, since this was your idea, what are your 3 born, marriage, and ascending away into the world?
For the born, I was born in America. If I'm born, I am a real American.
Okay.
Hey, come on.
I can do that.
For my wedding,
Out of the womb, he's just throwing up the Hulk Hogan.
smash it.
Shotting up.
Someone cut that umbilical cord.
No, you don't gotta break. I'll smash it.
It's like, I got it. I got this.
The doctor comes. You.
I wish we were videotaping this because
Seriously.
the mannerisms going on.
Yeah, but we would lose all viewers.
Probably.
Marriage.
Marriage, you took it. You took
Awesome.
it. Yeah.
The Miz. Awesome.
That's a runner-up for me, actually.
to play.
No. Daniel Bryan's theme. Banquet doors open.
Ride to the Valkyries.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes. Well,
She
he
said yes. She said yes.
That actually fits.
No, in church, instead of holding her hand, we. No, yeah. It
Half the
was,
families are just looking like, what the hell's going on here?
Why are we here? Why did we RSVP for all of us?
because she said yes. For the Undertaker. For my funeral, it would have to be the Undertaker. Rest in peace. That
Just go out on a bang.
you would have to. Yeah.
I think as they're lowering the casket, you hear the final gongs.
That's
going
yeah,
down.
yeah. It's like as they're lowering it.
Or maybe Kane's. You have pyros on the bottom of your casket.
I would imagine during my funeral, Kane would come and freaking like grab my corpse and just chokeslam me.
I was real nervous where you were going with that.
He slam you to hell.
Well,
I
you
just
guys
screwed-
remember that famous Triple H?
I just
segment,
screwed your
don't you?
brains out.
And I think honorable mention should be it.
Yeah.
I have mine.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mine was, and this was when he was in ECW. Sting, that whole Crow theme. Like I don't know what it was about it. It's just it seemed to me always to be like he's not a ripoff of the Undertaker at all. He was his own character, and then the whole thing of like I could take away maybe the whole like speech of how he's the purveyor of good,
Yeah.
all that, and just leave the music only. Because as the song builds up, it's like he's coming out here.
Yeah.
He's really coming to get you, and like He didn't even need to sell anything. Like his silent presence and then just his song just sold it for me. And it's like, all right, that's the man they call Sting.
Yeah.
That's my honorable mention as far as like one of my like all-time favorites.
Dan?
I am gonna go with Val Venus because "Hello, Ladies" it's one of my favorite themes because of how ridiculous it is and how ridiculous that character was.
Or the Titantron? Everything
Yeah,
is...
everything
as
is
a kid,
is
I
phallic
didn't
and
understand.
sexual.
Holy crap! You made me remember what my third worst was. That also tied in.
What?
It had to do with Val Venus when he was a part of the Right to Censor. Hearing those annoying alarms, I'm just like, oh God!
Jesus Christ.
I don't need you guys here now. You're just ruining something really good. Stevie Richards, what the hell?
Stevie Richards. There he is.
Yeah, that. Thank you for that. For your honorable mention to bring up why Right to Censor was one of my third worst.
No problem.
Any other comments, Dan, on Val Venus?
No.
Like, it's ridiculous. You always
Yeah.
thought, like, as a kid when you're watching, like,
You don't understand it.
No.
It's really random, but then when you go back, you're like,
You're like, oh, there's a screw being driven in. There's a train
hot dog.
a train going in and out of a tunnel.
yeah, that's the whole coming out of the tunnel was just like, wait, what?
What is it? Oil.
Hot dog.
There's an oil spray. There's a hot dog into a bun.
a flower blossoming.
The flower blossoming. Everything in it is overtly sexual. And like you said, as a child, you're just kind of like, oh, well, it is professional wrestling. And then your parents are sitting behind you going, what the fuck is this?
And then, like, this whole gyrating in the ring, everything he's doing, this whole promos that he's cutting, you're just like, oh, this guy's cool. He's funny. When you're looking at it now, as you're watching, like, what the fuck? Why did Vince ever put this guy on?
It's because this seems consistent with Vince's sense of humor to me. And where he'd be like, let's put a fucking porn star in the ring.
What's the one question that comes to mind is how do they get away with it?
Yeah.
He didn't whip his dick out, I think. So I think the implied... So you never saw genitals.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they got away with it.
The
Everything was...
constant mention of his genitals, though, is just like...
Choppy is pee-pee?
That bit was...
Well,
worse.
I mean, keep in mind, that was also before any of this... Like, choppy as pee-pee would not fly today at all for, like, 4 reasons. Like,
Political reasons,
WWE is lucky no speak English got through.
No, WWE's lucky also the N-word got through on live TV. God, I swear I thought Booker T was going to break character and just knock Vince the fuck out at that point.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
If he had really done it, I would have had a lot more respect for Booker T, but I'm pretty sure he was just like, tell me.
What the hell?
But yeah, your honorable mention.
Honorable mention would have to be Triple H's The Game.
By Motorhead, right?
Motorhead.
Live or regular?
Regular.
Actually, doesn't sound so bad live.
It doesn't, but to me, the regular is where it's at. You know, especially that one part. The part that was always my favorite was just him getting on the apron right before
Like
he spits the water out.
The build up.
Yeah,
of it.
and he's just looking left and then right and then. I mean, we've all tried to spit water like Triple H, right? I'm not the only one.
No,
yeah, okay.
When I hear that, like, I would try to do it as well.
Because one time I had a friend of mine, he's like, oh, you just like it because of the song. I'm like, nope. There is so much that goes into that entrance. It's the strut. It's the pauses that he takes. The crowd soaking it all in. There's so much that goes into it. It's
Literally soaking it all in, too.
Huh? So that would have to be my honorable mention. Anyway, guys, there you are. We just talked about some of our favorite theme songs. You know, the best, the worst, the tolerable ones. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in.
I was just gonna say, leave your top 3 and bottom 3 themes in the comments. Let us know. Let us know your opinions.
And leave the fact that you agree with me that Gangrel's theme is actually really good. All right, guys. We'll see you all next time.